ever left a review online? Yeah, of course you have. We all have. But have you ever stopped to think what actually happens to it? For a huge company like ASOS, your review isn't just one little comment. It's one tiny drop in this massive, messy, but super valuable river of data. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see how they use AI to actually listen to thousands of customers all at once. Let's get into it.
So, on one side of the coin, you've got reviews like this one. This is basically the dream, right? The gold standard. A happy customer who loves the product, loves the service. Companies live for this stuff. It's a big green light that says, hey, we're doing everything right.
And then you get this, the total opposite, a complete nightmare scenario. I mean, this one review is like a flashing red siren for so many problems at once. Logistics, tracking, customer service, it's all there. Now just imagine you're ASOS. How on earth do you find this one review and fix the problem when it's buried under thousands and thousands of other comments?
And that right there, that's the heart of the problem. The study we're digging into today, it sifted through almost 3,000 of these reviews from ASOS. Just think about that. Trying to read, sort, and make sense of all that by hand, it would be an absolutely insane amount of work.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle what I'm calling the wall of reviews, just to get a sense of the scale. Then we'll see how you can actually teach a machine to feel. After that, we'll break down the 3-step process for turning all that mess into meaning. Check out the winner of the Great AI Showdown, and finally, tie it all together to see how this makes for smarter business and, better shopping for all of us. So for a giant global company like ASOS, this endless stream of customer feedback is, well, it's two things at once. It's a gold mine of information, but it's also a huge, massive headache. I mean, how do you spot the really urgent stuff? How do you see the bigger trends? How do you actually hear what people are trying to tell you when the comments are coming in 24/7? That, right there, is the challenge of listening at scale. So what's the answer? Well, you're not going to hire an army of people to sit and read reviews all day, right? Of course not. The answer is technology. You build a smart system that does it for you, instantly and on a massive scale. But this isn't just any old AI. We're talking about a special kind, one that's specifically built to understand, human feelings. The fancy term for this magic trick is sentiment analysis. And it's a really cool field, actually. It's all about teaching a computer how to read between the lines, to pick up on the emotion in the text. The whole point is to get the machine to automatically sort a review into a simple bucket, like, hey, this is excellent, this one's just okay, or, oof, this one's bad. Okay, so how does this actually work under the hood? Well, like I said, it's not actually magic. It's a really logical 3-step process. It's all about taking that raw, messy human chatter and cleaning it up, turning it into structured data that a computer can finally make sense of.
Step 1, you collect the data. You gather up all those reviews, all 3,000 of them. Step 2, and this is maybe the most important part, is cleaning it up. This is where the AI acts like a janitor, sweeping away all the messiness of human language. And only then, once it's clean, can you get to step 3, analyzing it, to pull out the key words, the phrases that really tell you how a customer is feeling.
So take a look at this. This is the kind of raw review the AI starts with. It's a mess, right? You've got slang, typos, abbreviations, a million exclamation points. We can look at this and instantly get that this person is super frustrated. But to a computer, this is just a bunch of noise. It has to be cleaned up before the real work can start. And voila, here's what's left after the cleaning crew comes through. The system gets rid of all the punctuation, it throws out common little words, what they call stop words like my or is. It even chops words down to their basic root. See, all that extra fluff is gone, and you're left with just the core keywords that hold the real meaning.
Okay, now we get to the fun part. The data is all clean and tidy. So now you need an AI model to actually do the sorting. But which one do you use? Well, the researchers didn't just grab the first one they found. Nope, they set up a competition, a kind of battle of the bots, to see which AI could do the best job of figuring out what customers were really saying. And I'm not kidding, they tested 18 different machine learning models. 18! They basically trained them all up on one set of reviews and then unleashed them on a new set to see which one was the smartest, which one could correctly sort the reviews into those excellent, average, or bad piles. And we have a winner. The champion model clocked in with an accuracy of almost 86%. Now, to put that in perspective, that means out of every 100 reviews, it got the sentiment right about 86 times. That's really, really good. That's a solid B plus in a very tough class.
And just to see how good that is, check this out. The winning model, this new support vector classification, hit that 86%. Now look at the worst one. The AdaBoost classifier was only right about half the time, 51%. That's basically just flipping a coin. It's a perfect example of how in AI, having the right tool for the job makes all the difference.
Okay, so we've got our champion AI. It's super accurate, but so what? What's the point of all this fancy data science? The real question is, what does this actually mean for the business? And maybe more importantly, what does it mean for us when we're shopping? That's what we're going to get into now, the real-world impact.
Well, with a tool like this, a company like ASOS can stop playing defense and start playing offense. They can spot a problem, say a sudden spike in complaints about delivery delays, almost in real time. Then they can dig deeper and see the keywords that keep popping up, like worst customer service. This lets them make very specific changes. And then, and this is key, track if things are actually getting better. At the end of the day, that just means a better shopping experience for all of us. Here's a perfect example from the study. The AI noticed that one particular delivery partner, a company called Hermes, kept showing up over and over again in negative reviews. So suddenly, the problem isn't just this vague delivery is slow issue. No, it's a very specific partner that's dropping the ball. And just like that, the solution is crystal clear. ASOS can use that data to say, okay, maybe it's time to switch to someone like DHL. They can solve a huge problem for tons of customers, all without a single person having to manually read through thousands of reviews.
I mean, this is seriously powerful stuff, right? It takes this chaotic mess of human opinions and turns it into clear, usable information. And it leaves us with a pretty wild question to chew on. As this kind of tech gets smarter and smarter, as it gets better at understanding our complaints, our desires, all from our little digital footprints, what happens when AI knows what we want, maybe even better than we do ourselves?